In speaking today, I am hoping to educate, inform, and hopefully prevent cervical cancer. There are two vaccines, Cervarix and Gardasil, that according to the manufacturers and many doctors, scientists, and the medical community, help prevent certain types of human papillomavirus. According to the National Cancer Institute, human papillomavirus, or HPV, is the leading cause of cervical cancer. In 2007, the Center for Disease Control estimated that 12,000 women are diagnosed with cervical cancer each year in the United States. Most of these cases are caused by the high-risk strains of HPV that the vaccine has been formulated to prevent. Gardasil is now one of the vaccines required by law for school-age girls in Virginia, the very state we live in. If a girl is not vaccinated, then she cannot attend any public or private school in the state. The lawmakers of this state realize the importance of this medical breakthrough, and I hope that my audience will share the same viewpoint after I have said my piece. HPV is the most commonly sexually transmitted disease among the world's population, says the National Cancer Institute. The disease runs rampant because the symptoms are painless. Not all strains cause warts, and someone can walk through their entire life and not know that they have it. In 2009, the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services approximated that 20 million Americans from ages 15 to 49 have some form of the human papillomavirus, and about 50% of sexually active people have been infected with the disease at one point in their lives. HPV is a virus. That means there is no cure. This virus is transmitted through all sexual contact. There are more than 100 different strains and variations, and each strain does different things to the body. Some do nothing, some cause warts, and some can develop into cancer. Both men and women of all ages can get the virus due to the fact that it is highly contagious. The use of condoms helps, however, the CDC states that the virus can be spread to areas of the body not protected by a condom. The HPV vaccine is formulated to help the body develop antibodies to fight off the most harmful strains of the disease. A test called a pap smear is recommended by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services and can detect the presence of HPV. Performed along with the yearly gynecological exam, the pap test is a small scraping of cells from the surface of the cervix. The sample is placed under a microscope, and abnormal cells can be detected. During your yearly gynecological exam is the perfect time to discuss with your doctor about receiving the HPV vaccine. Gardasil is one of the two vaccines approved by the FDA, and it protects women against the most dangerous strains of HPV. The official website for Merck, the company that produces the vaccine, says it is effective against HPV 6, 11, 16, and 18. These strains have been found to be the ones most likely to develop into cancer. HPV is not just linked to cervical cancer. It can also cause cancer of the anus, vulva, vagina, and the penis. Yes, you heard correctly. Guys can develop cancer if they are infected with HPV. As I stated before, there are two approved vaccines on the market. Gardasil and Cervarix both follow the same guidelines as to administration and age protocols. The Gardasil website suggests that the 3-part vaccine be administered to girls 11 and 12, but can be given to girls as young as 9 and women up to the age of 26. The U.S. Department of Health and Human Services also says that the vaccine is most effective if administered before the first sexual contact, but it can still be effective in sexually active people. Receiving the vaccine is just like being given any normal vaccine. I should know. I received my series of shots in 2005. The risks are that of any other vaccine on the market: allergic reaction, fever, chills, nausea, and vomiting. I experienced a pretty sore arm for about 2 days at the injection site after the shot, which is normal according to my doctor, and it really wasn't anything Tylenol or Motrin couldn't fix. The vaccine have been proven safe and effective by the FDA and as stated on the CDC website. There has been a lot of resistance toward this vaccine because some people are afraid that it has not been around long enough to know the long-term effects. The CDC says that there are no serious problems with the vaccine and the vaccine has been observed so far, and the safety is continuously being monitored. So far, the risks are that of any other routine vaccines you would get as a child. Some individuals also feel that if they have their children vaccinated, then that will encourage them to engage in sexual activity. All I have to say to that is that people that receive the tetanus vaccine don't go running barefoot through a field of rusty nails just because they've been vaccinated against tetanus. Being vaccinated doesn't mean that a person is going to feel as if they are invincible, and it surely does not mean that they will feel the need to engage in behavior that will put them at risk. As a matter of fact, the Virginia Code section 32.1-46 states that girls entering the 6th grade must be administered at least the first dose of the HPV vaccine, and that the rest of the series must be administered for the child to continue to attend any public or private school, child care center, or any other institution where exposure to other children is expected. A vaccine for men is in the works as well, but is not really ready for human testing. Insurance paid for my vaccinations, and from what I have found, the most companies have now included Gardasil and Cervarix into healthcare plans for routine vaccinations. In conclusion, I hope I have conveyed the importance of having yourself or the young women in your lives vaccinated. Most people have no idea of the epidemic that HPV and cervical cancer have become. We have been giving new weapons in these vaccines, and together with education, we can start preventing the disease instead of having to work so hard to prevent it.